Well, hi guys, this is Tom. You got that brand new metal detector and you want to learn how to use it. The best way that you can learn to use your metal detector is build yourself a test garden. If you want to learn how to do that, stay tuned. So you may ask yourself, why do you need a test garden? Well, I have seen all kinds of tests done. I've seen tests done on boards, on cement patios where they lay the coins on a board and, lay a dime next to a nail and all that stuff. I've seen videos where people use styrofoam containers and boards and, just kind of configure stuff to see target separation and that kind of stuff. But to me, those things really don't mean much. I mean, they don't mean much at all because those aren't the conditions that you find when you're out in the field. Sure, you can take an air test with a metal detector and swing a dime underneath it to make sure it's actually picking up something. But when you're out in the field, you're not able to place the nails. You don't have a styrofoam container. You have ground conditions and mineralization in your area. So, in the area I'm in, I usually want an actual test garden with the soil conditions that I'm testing in. And so that's the reason I built a test garden. Like I said, all these other things that you see on the internet, to me, they really don't mean much at all. And I don't suggest that you use those. I suggest you actually build yourself a test garden. And if you need to place a nail next to one of the objects you've buried to see if their target separation works, then go for it. That's a valid thing. Your test garden, this is just a basic test garden. Your test garden can grow and grow and grow. In my area, the soil conditions are pretty stable no matter where I go. So for my yard, burying a test garden in my yard, wherever I go, those soil conditions will remain pretty consistent, and the test garden tells me a lot more than testing on a board or a piece of styrofoam. That's just my opinion. I know some people have different opinions. You can take it for what it's worth, but that's the way I feel about it. So in the next part of this video, let me show you how I laid out my test garden and what I did. So stay tuned and watch till the end. So the way I start building my test gardens is I get the most common junk that I find in my area. So I've arranged here some of the junk and some of the treasure that I want to find. Now realize that this is just a basic test garden. Let's start. First thing that people don't want to get is their pull tabs. So I get me some pull tabs here, and that's the first thing I want to bury. The next thing a lot of people don't want is the zinc pennies. So a lot of people want to learn those. So you got to learn where your detector reads on all this stuff, and you can make adjustments accordingly. Another thing is that I have the copper pennies here. So you want to get your copper pennies. You want to get your nickels. Nickels also fall in the range of some jewelry, so you want to get that as well. Another thing is your dimes, your quarters, your bottle caps, and then over here at the end, I'm going to bury a beer can about 12 to 14 inches deep. I'm going to bury a bottle cap about 8 inches deep, and I'm going to bury a beaver tail pull tab about 4 inches deep. And the reason you want to do that is you want to learn how your detector sounds on all this stuff. So that is one thing that you really want to do. To do that, to mark where I plant these, I'm going to use some of this marking paint from Rust-Oleum. I'm going to paint that. I'm also going to use a spike that I've marked 2, 4, and 8 inches deep. This is for the penny, so I'm going to bury this row here at 2 inches deep. I'm going to bury this row here at 4 inches deep. I'm going to bury this row up to the bottle cap at 8 inches deep. And these here, we discussed the depth I'm going to bury those. So without further ado, let's get out in the test garden and let's build ourselves a test garden. So after you have created your test garden, the next thing you want to do is create a map so you know where everything is. And the best way I found to do that is just do it in paint. You could do it hand drawn, but you probably lose a piece of paper like I did many times. But I keep it on my computer, that way I can upgrade it later if I add more stuff. This is just a basic test garden, and in my personal test garden, I have a lot more stuff than this. So anyway, this is just a basic test garden. So the first thing I want to do is draw some circles, okay, and just to label them, I get one certain size circle, and from there you want to do a select. So I selected circles, drew a circle, and then I do a select area, and I take that and I copy, and then I paste it, and then I drag that one over here, and when I get to the end of the row I just copy the whole row. So we can paste that again and just drag them over here like so. I want to leave a little bit of room for text in here. We can select that one and move it over a little bit. So you get the gist. You just basically draw some circles on the screen. So we want to paste that one again. I've got 7 targets in a row on the coins and the pull tabs. So I want to do 7 to start with. And now that I've got a fairly good row here, I want to take this whole thing and do a select on the whole thing like so, and we copy that, and then we want to do a paste, and then you can just drag that into position like so, and then we want to do another paste and drag that. Now I've got the beer can and the beaver tail and the bottle cap down here separately. So we want to go back up here and do a select again, and we want to select those 3 right here, and I want to copy those and we'll do a paste, and that gives me the 3 at the bottom, and we can separate those by doing a select, copy, drag them over a little bit, select, drag it down, select, and move it over. Kind of get them even here. So now I want to go through and label what I've got here. So you'll use the text tool for that. So right here I'm going to write, these are all buried 8 inches. And we're going to make that a little larger so you can see it. I'm old, so I need larger. And this is 4 inches. And right here we have, 8.4, and then here we have 2 inches in that row. And the first one that we had was a tab. So we click under this guy here and write tab. Get it centered. And what I want to do is duplicate that one, so we just do a select right here and do a copy and a paste, and we just drag that into position here, and I want to get the select button, tab, and we want to paste again, and I want to get to where I got the little crosshairs there, and we got tab there. So all of those are tabs. And So now on the next one here, I want to write, these are all zinc pennies. So let's just do a zinc. We can resize this, move it up and down, get it kind of in a line there. And then I want to copy that in the future. In my test garden, I want to, I wanted to add silver dimes and, gold and other things so that I could test a little bit better, test my metal detector a little bit better. Also, when you see tests on the internet that are on top of styrofoam containers, or they're air test, or they're on a board on a cement patio, those are all good for just showing that a detector can pick up something. But as far as giving you a true indication of what it does in your ground, you'll want to bury targets so you can test them in your ground. I really don't trust the air test, never have. It just is a good demo thing, but it's really not conducive to what you're actually hunting. So I really hope this helps you guys, and God bless.